Imagine a world where your closest confidant becomes your ultimate betrayer, where dreams of championship glory can shatter in a single fatal moment. This is the shocking true story of Zi Hongying, a rock climbing champion who discovered that the line between love and murder is razor thin. Picture this. You're at the peak of your career, three-time world champion, about to clinch another gold medal. Your girlfriend is by your side. Your future looks bright, and a proposal is just moments away. But what if everything you've worked for, your reputation, your life, your very existence, could be erased in just one calculated drink? In a world of high-stakes competition, where winning means everything, some people will go to unimaginable lengths to claim victory. Secrets, lies, and a deadly plot intertwine in a heart-stopping narrative that will make you question everything you know about trust, betrayal, and the human capacity for destruction. This isn't just a story about a rock-climbing championship. This is a tale of manipulation, hidden agendas, and a love so toxic it becomes a weapon. Every moment is a twist, every revelation more shocking than the last. How far would someone go to steal your dreams? How well do you really know the people closest to you? Prepare yourself for a journey that will keep you on the edge of your seat, challenge your understanding of human relationships, and reveal the dark depths of ambition. If you want to uncover the truth, if you're ready for a story that will leave you breathless, keep watching. And don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and share this incredible story with everyone you know. Trust me, you won't want to miss what happens next. The World Climbing Championship became my final stage, a tragic performance where betrayal played its cruelest act. As I lay dying in the emergency room, the world outside erupted in celebration. My last moments were a bitter tableau of shattered dreams and calculated treachery. I watched, a disembodied spirit, as my girlfriend Tao Xinran stood proudly beside Xu Qingyu, her fingers delicately placed on his arm. The cameras flashed, capturing their moment of triumph, a moment built on my destruction. The gold medal around Qingyu's neck felt like a tombstone marking the end of my life's journey. My mind rewound through the painful details. For 5 years, Tao had been my closest confidant, the one who prepared my nutritional supplements before every climbing session. How carefully she must have planned this, slipping performance-enhancing drugs into my energy drink, knowing my severe allergic reaction would be fatal. Each drop was a calculated step towards Qingyu's dream of championship victory. The irony cut deep. Hongying, my childhood friend, had always been driven to win. With me out of the competition, he finally had his chance at glory. As the doctor confirmed my death, the ECG's flatline echoed the end of my own aspirations. Tao Xinan's words before the match still rang in my ears. Her desperation, her pleading. "You've already achieved the Grand Slam. You don't need this World Championship gold medal," she had insisted. Her favoritism towards Xu Qingyu was no secret, but I never imagined it would lead to my ultimate betrayal. The recording device had captured everything. Our final conversation, my last moments of life. Soon, the world would know the truth behind this perfectly staged tragedy. I tried to reason with Tao Xinan, explaining the fundamental principles of competitive sports. "I cannot throw a match," I told her firmly. "I understand your connection to Xu Qingyu, but I will never compromise the integrity of the competition. I might forfeit commercial opportunities, but I won't cheat." Her expression changed, a mixture of desperation and determination. Without much hesitation, she handed me a prepared energy drink. "Good luck," she said, her words carrying an unsettling undertone. I drank it quickly, not realizing it would be my fatal mistake. As the competition began, my body suddenly collapsed. Carried away on a stretcher, a chilling realization washed over me. "Xinan," I thought, "are you so desperate for Xu Qingyu's victory that you'd go to these lengths?" A flash of panic crossed her face when our eyes met. Her words echoed in my mind. Hong Ying, don't blame me. Winning the world championship is Cheng Yu's only wish. The coldness of her calculations struck me deeply. Everything suddenly made sense. Her previous attentiveness was nothing more than a guilty conscience. I struggled to confront her, but she pushed my hand away. It's just a common stimulant, she dismissed, her voice cutting. Why are you acting like you're dying? The gravity of her actions hit me. A stimulant during a competition could destroy an athlete's entire career. As a rock climbing columnist, Tao Xinran knew exactly what she was doing. She was willing to sacrifice everything, my career, my life, to help Xu Qingyu win. Don't worry, she said softly. Even if I'm banned, I won't break up with you. Her words felt like a cruel joke. I had planned to propose to her after winning the championship, to make a lifelong promise with my gold medal as a symbol of our shared dreams. As the emergency room doors closed, my breath growing shallow, I realized I might never get the chance to tell her how much she had destroyed. My last thoughts were of the dreams we would never share, the future she had so callously erased. The cheering crowd outside stood in stark contrast to the cold, sterile operating room where doctors and nurses casually discussed my fate. Their conversation cut through me like a knife. I never expected Xu Qingyu to win, one said. Everyone thought Xie Hongying would take the championship. He's been world champion 3 times in a row, undeniably the strongest climber. Another responded with contempt. What strength? Strength fueled by performance-enhancing drugs? How disgusting. Probably all his previous accomplishments were fake, too. I desperately wanted to scream, to explain that my achievements were real. My love for rock climbing was genuine, not a fabrication. But my voice was silent, unheard by those around me. The doctor finally intervened. Someone notify the family. The patient has passed away due to a severe allergic reaction to performance-enhancing substances. My mind drifted back to how Tao Xinran and I first met. She was a journalist interviewing me about rock climbing, one of the few women interested in the sport. I was drawn to her uniqueness, believing her passion matched my own. When she said she became interested in rock climbing because someone she cared about loved it, I thought she meant me. The painful truth came later. She was actually following Xu Qingyu, the eternal runner-up I had always overshadowed. Every competition, every photo, every moment I thought was about our relationship was actually about her hidden feelings for someone else. 5 years together, surely there must have been genuine moments? The new year when she first agreed to meet my parents gave me hope. I had dreamed of proposing after winning the world championship, believing we were finally moving forward. Now, lying cold and silent, I wondered, would Tao Xinran feel even a moment of regret? The irony of my betrayal unfolded under the blinding camera lights. Tao Xinran, now holding a microphone, interviewed Xu Qingyu with an intimacy that spoke volumes. Congratulations on winning the world championship, she said, her voice soft and personal. Xu Qingyu clutched his trophy, his words carefully chosen. The person I'm most grateful for is the one who's always been by my side, he said, his gaze lingering on Tao Xinran. She blushed, the gesture revealing more than words ever could. A nearby reporter teased about their childhood connection. Someone quickly interjected, "Don't say that. Reporter Tao has a boyfriend, Xie Hongying." The mention of my name hung in the air like a ghost. Whispers began to circulate. Where's Xie Hongying? He said he wasn't feeling well before the competition. Then came the devastating words. He might have taken performance-enhancing drugs. The front row erupted in shock. Performance-enhancing drugs? How could someone like me, with my reputation, resort to such tactics? Xu Qingyu's response was calculated. Sometimes I can understand Xie Hongying, he said, his voice sympathetic yet subtly condemning. For top-level athletes, even a slight performance drop can be devastating. He cares deeply about winning. His words seemed supportive, but they were a carefully crafted knife, defending me while simultaneously destroying my reputation. The reporters turned to Tao Xinran, pressing her for details. Sister Tao, what's really happening with your boyfriend? The cameras continued flashing, capturing every nuanced moment of my public execution. The moment hung suspended in tension. Tao Xinran's lips trembled, her resolve wavering until Xu Qingyu gently took her hand. Xiaoran, he whispered. They need to know the truth. She took a deep breath, her telltale sign of making a difficult decision. Yes, she declared. Shi Hongying was found to have taken performance-enhancing drugs. The stadium erupted. Some couldn't believe my alleged betrayal, while others trusted Tao Xinran's journalistic credibility. She's a professional columnist, they argued. Who would lie about their own boyfriend? The scene shifted dramatically when a group arrived with bouquets and streamers. A formal-looking man approached Tao Xinran. Mr. Shi said you love Lily of the Valley, he announced, so we've airlifted the freshest flowers from Finland for your proposal. Proposal? The word hung in the air like a painful ghost. Tao Xinran froze, her expression tightening. The man looked around, confused. Is Mr. Shi here? We couldn't reach him by phone. I watched, knowing the painful truth. This proposal would never happen. I would never make that call. Suddenly the coach burst through the crowd, throwing the bouquet to the ground. Stop this, he shouted, his eyes red with emotion. Xiao Shui is already dead. There's no point. Tao Xinran grabbed his sleeve, demanding, What do you mean? The coach's response was a devastating indictment. I never thought you could be so heartless, he spat. Hong's greatest regret was falling for a woman like you. The coach's hunched figure walked away, picking up my discarded backpack. After 10 years of treating me like a son, I knew he must be devastated by my death. Watching him leave, a wave of grief washed over me. Tao Xinran seemed momentarily stunned, her eyes scanning the carefully arranged proposal setup. Xu Qingyu stopped her when she tried to leave. My championship interview isn't finished, he said, his tone possessive. I need to check on Hongying, she responded. But Xu Qingyu's reassurances came quickly. What could be wrong? It's just a stimulant. These drugs only cause temporary excitement. His words carried a hint of guilt, carefully spoken for the media's ears. Besides, Si Hongying never even catches a cold. How could he suddenly end up in the emergency room? Tao Xinran's skepticism began to dissolve. She started constructing her own narrative, that I was faking illness to avoid media humiliation. He probably thinks spreading stimulant rumors would be too embarrassing, she concluded, letting out a cold laugh. Her next words were chilling. Speaking to the wedding planning representative, she said dismissively, Tell Shi Hongying to stop these boring tricks. I've said I won't break up with him, but if he keeps pretending to be dead, I'll end things for good. Without hesitation, she trampled the lily of the valley bouquet, destroying the proposal I had meticulously planned. The flowers crushed beneath her feet symbolized my shattered dreams. At the interview area, the bitter irony was complete. I, who had been the championship's perpetual winner, was now replaced. Xu Qingyu had finally stepped over my dead body to claim the title he'd always been denied. During the interview, a reporter's question hung in the air. What is your opinion on Xie Hongying's death from performance-enhancing drugs? Xu Qingyu and Tao Xinran froze. A wild joy flickered in Xu Qingyu's eyes. The enormous burden of my constant championship victories finally lifted. Tao Xinran looked shell-shocked, clinging desperately to the reporter's sleeve. What did you say? She stammered. Xie Hongying is dead? The reporter looked puzzled. Aren't you his girlfriend? You don't know? He passed away during the award ceremony, a severe allergic reaction to stimulant substances. Tao Xinran's face turned ghostly pale. Impossible, she insisted. You're lying. Is Ye Hongying behind this? Her sudden agitation startled everyone. Xu Qingyu quickly pulled her close, whispering comforting words. Xie Hongying's death was an accident. Don't get worked up. A trace of panic flickered in Xu Qingyu's eyes, fear that she might reveal something unexpected. The surrounding crowd offered their own cruel consolations. He brought this on himself, they said. You're better off without him. I watched bitterly as everyone painted Tao Xinran as the victim, eagerly dismantling my reputation. Xu Qingyu tightened his grip on her shoulder. Nan. I'll always be by your side, he murmured. Tao Xinran's trembling lips whispered, Yes, it was all an accident. His own fault. Suddenly the coach's voice cut through the tension. Holding my backpack, his bloodshot eyes locked onto Tao Xinran. I have a recording, he declared. Xiao Shui's death is connected to you. The reporters froze, their eyes fixed on the voice recorder in his hand, a potential key to unraveling the entire tragic story. The coach revealed his habit of recording competitions, explaining how he used professional sports camera lenses with audio attachments to review every move and decision. Tao Xinran's face went pale, cold sweat breaking out instantly. The referee and coach approached her. Ms. Tao, please come with us, they said, their gazes sweeping to Xu Qingyu. He stood nearby, head down, nervously fiddling with his gold medal, avoiding eye contact. I followed as they moved to the interrogation room. The recording played back, revealing a critical moment. It's just the most common stimulant. Why are you pretending? The coach's eyes locked onto Tao Xinran. The drug test results aren't even complete, he challenged. How did you know exactly what stimulant was taken? Blood tests take days to identify a substance's composition. Trapped, Tao Xinran scrambled for an explanation. Her gaze darted around before constructing another lie. I saw this drug at his house, she claimed. I tried to persuade him not to use it, but he said the championship was too important. The crowd readily accepted her story. After all, who would believe a girlfriend would harm her own boyfriend? The coach pressed further. Xie Hongying said you'd go to such lengths for Xu Qingyu. What did he mean? Tao Xinran's response was calculated. I wanted Xu Qingyu to win, she admitted. I told Xi Hongying I'd break up with him if he didn't give up the gold medal. When he said I'd go to such lengths, he meant the breakup, nothing more. She continued. After seeing him withdraw due to an allergic reaction, I softened. I promised I wouldn't leave him, no matter what. The referee and coach exchanged skeptical glances. Her explanation seemed plausible, but something didn't quite add up. The coach's voice broke with emotion. I know his character. He would never do such a thing. Tao Xinran couldn't meet his eyes, her voice trembling as she whispered, Maybe you don't know him well enough. The referee's resolve began to waver. After all, we had been together for 5 years, on the verge of marriage. What reason could she have to betray me? I watched the coach across the table, his figure suddenly aged, looking fragile and helpless. The man who had been strict with me throughout my career now appeared like a defeated child. I wanted to comfort him, but could only watch helplessly as my hands passed through his body. Without concrete evidence, the authorities had no choice but to release Tao Xinran. She walked through the crowd with an unsettling calm that pierced my heart. In our relationship, I had been the only one truly committed. Now, with my death, she was free to be with Xu Qingyu. By the parking lot, the wedding company's host approached her. Ms. Tao, he said, holding out a ring box. This is a gift Mr. Shi picked out for you. A flicker of hesitation crossed Tao Xinran's eyes. She quickly took the box, mumbling thanks and stuffing it into her bag, as if the ring burned her touch. Xu Qingyu waited in the car, his championship trophy placed casually in the back seat. They didn't find anything, right? He asked anxiously, gripping her arm. Tao Xinran recounted the interrogation, seemingly distracted. Xu Qingyu pulled out red roses, his declaration dripping with manufactured emotion. I've liked you for years, he claimed, watching from a distance while you were with Xi Hongying. I nearly laughed at his performance, This was the same man who had changed girlfriends 10 times, now pretending at deep, patient love. I watched in confusion as Tao Xinran pushed away Xu Qingyu's roses. "I'm not in the mood," she said, her voice exhausted. It was reminiscent of times before, like my birthday when she'd abandoned me to accompany Xu Qingyu to a bar. Xu Qingyu looked stunned. "Take your time," he said softly. "I'll wait for you." He brought her to his home, and as she moved comfortably through the space, a painful realization struck me. This wasn't her first time staying here. In the past, whenever I expressed jealousy about her closeness to Xu Qingyu, she'd dismiss my concerns. "I need a place to stay during work trips," she'd say. Now, watching her settle into the guest room, the betrayal felt like a cold knife in my heart. While Tao Xinran sorted interview notes, Xu Qingyu lounged on the bed, scrolling through his phone. I watched in shock as he switched to an alternate account and began deliberately spreading rumors. A trace of satisfaction crossed his face as he actively fueled the online hate. Each click seemed calculated to destroy my reputation, dismantling years of hard-earned achievements. My loyal fans began posting desperate videos, my coach clutching a cardboard cutout of me, trying to explain my innocence to passers-by. Commercial endorsements started demanding breach of contract compensation. The person who once called me Brother Xi so affectionately had been secretly plotting my destruction all along. The world's condemnation was ruthless. Those who once celebrated my achievements now trampled my reputation without mercy. Before I could even begin to defend myself, my elderly parents arrived at Xu Qingyu's place, their hair gone gray with grief. "Ran," my father pleaded. "Please tell us Hong Ying didn't cheat." Tao Xinran's gaze wavered, unable to meet their desperate eyes. The past weeks had been devastating. My previous sponsors demanded massive contract penalties. My parents, honest and loving, had sold our family home, now squeezed into a tiny 10-square-meter rental room. I watched, helpless, as tears threatened to bleed from my eyes. My parents, who had treated Tao Xinran like a daughter, sometimes even more tenderly than they treated me, were suffering immeasurably. A flicker of guilt crossed Tao Xinran's face. "Annie," she said softly, offering some money. "Take this. The matter with Shi Hongying is settled. Stop asking about it." But my parents refused to believe I could be a cheater. Their love was unconditional, their faith in me unbreakable. Xu Qingyu quickly intervened, pushing Tao Xinran into the room. "I'll talk to them," he said, closing the door. The moment it shut, a cunning expression replaced his sympathetic mask. "What happened to Brother She is unfortunate," he told my father, feigning concern. "But the dead cannot be brought back." My father's response was fierce. "Even if it costs me everything, I'll clear my son's name." A fleeting disdain flickered in Xu Qingyu's eyes, quickly masked by a concerned expression. "Since you've sought my help, I'll do everything in my power to support you." With just a few carefully chosen words, he skillfully extracted my parents' address, before politely escorting them out. The moment the door closed, a chilling transformation swept across Xu Qingyu's face. His fingers dialed a number with calculated precision. "Hello?" he spoke coldly. "Remember those debt collectors targeting those 2 elderly people? I've got their exact address." As he ended the call, he caught Tao Xinan's shocked expression. For a brief moment, his face tightened, a flicker of vulnerability, before quickly hardening back to its original composure. "Sinan, don't take this personally," he said, stepping closer and gripping her shoulders firmly. "Think strategically. If they continue investigating, they'll eventually uncover what happened." He mentioned Sher Hongying's death from the stimulant, emphasizing the potential manslaughter charge. Tao Xinan's body swayed slightly. Her gaze locked onto Xu Qingyu as she spoke with measured words. "Wasn't this something we did together?" she challenged. Xu Qingyu's expression momentarily froze before a faint, manipulative smile emerged. "That was just a slip of the tongue. Of course, I can't deny my involvement. If not for me, you wouldn't have taken those actions. His voice softened, becoming almost tender. Tao Sinan, I understand your feelings towards me. I genuinely want us to be together. Tao Sinran nodded, breaking free from his grasp after a moment of hesitation. I understand, she said, turning and walking back into the house. She missed the sudden darkness that clouded Shu Qingyu's face behind her. Once the door closed, I watched Tao Sinran sit motionless on the bed's edge, wrestling with her thoughts before finally deciding to call her mother. Mom, she said, can you let Xie Hongying's parents stay with you for a while? Her request surprised me. I had assumed that after agreeing with Shu Qingyu, she would distance herself completely from my situation. Her mother's voice came through warmly. I understand. Xiaoxia was always kind to me. It's only right we help their family. But remember, daughter, you can't remain trapped in the past. People must look forward. She then unexpectedly praised Shu Qingyu. I think he's wonderful. You've known him so long, and he clearly cares deeply for you. He even asked about specific details, food preferences, allergies. He was particularly curious about what Xiao Sui couldn't eat. Tao Sinran's expression dramatically shifted. Mom, what did you just say? Cheng Yu specifically asked about Sui Hongying's allergies? In that moment, a chilling realization struck me. My death was no accident. Shu Qingyu had meticulously planned everything, not just to destroy my reputation, but to ensure my permanent silence. Tao Xinran recognized this too. Her hands trembled as she whispered, her voice a mix of horror and realization. Her voice trembled as she spoke softly. I only wanted him to quit the competition. I thought he could find other ways to make money. I never imagined it would cost him his life. And Tao's hearing was uncertain. What did you say? Your voice is so quiet. Nothing, Tao Sinan responded hoarsely, quickly ending the call. Sitting motionless on the bed's edge, she seemed lost in a maze of memories. Suddenly remembering something, she frantically searched her bag, pulling out a small ring box. Inside lay a simple silver ring that caught the sunlight, revealing 3 engraved letters, TXR. The color drained from Tao Sinran's face as she slowly rotated the ring, memories flooding her mind. Since the incident, her relationship with Xu Chong had dramatically transformed. She began actively supporting him, accompanying him to magazine shoots. The commercial endorsements that were once mine, terminated due to the doping scandal, had seamlessly transferred to Xu Chong, the new champion positioned as a victim of my supposed suppression. Tonight, he was scheduled for a crucial commercial livestream. As his friend and a respected rock-climbing columnist, Tao Xinran was invited to participate. During the broadcast, the host deliberately brought up my name. Speaking of Shi Hongying, who was reportedly your boyfriend, the host said, it must have taken immense courage to expose such a person after discovering their true nature. Tao Xinran's gaze momentarily drifted, her fingers unconsciously playing with the ring I had given her. I noticed she was wearing it, a subtle detail that seemed to carry significant meaning. Raising her head, she spoke with unexpected calm. Expose? No, this is more like slander. The host looked bewildered. Shu Qingyu's panic was visibly mounting. He urgently tugged her sleeve, his eyes warning. What are you doing? This is a live broadcast. Tao Xinran's response was a sharp, defiant sneer as she pulled her sleeve away. I'm saying that you and I conspired to secretly add stimulants to Hong Ying's nutrient solution. We falsely accused him of cheating and ultimately caused his death through a calculated allergic reaction. Her words exploded like a thunderbolt in the live stream, instantly drawing a flood of viewers. As the host desperately attempted to cut the transmission, Tao Xinran's eyes locked onto Shu Qingyu, burning with a hatred that seemed to simmer beneath years of forced silence. You only spoke about winning the world championship, she continued, her voice now a controlled whisper of accusation. But you never mentioned that the stimulants you instructed me to use would trigger a fatal allergic reaction in Shui Hongying. Xu Qingyu's face turned ghostly white. He desperately tried to defend himself, his voice trembling with a mix of fear and anger. Ran, have you been tricked? What allergy? I know nothing about this. This must be because I rejected your confession, and now you're trying to get revenge by ruining me. Tao Xinran listened to his desperate lies, her lips curling into a cold, sharp smile. You talk about slander destroying lives, she said quietly. But what about the vicious plan you created to destroy Hongying's reputation? All these years, I never saw your true nature until now. The live stream suddenly went silent. The host looked uncomfortable and quickly called the PR department, sensing the explosive tension in the room. Xu Qingyu leaned back in her chair, letting out a chilling laugh. Do you really think this live stream changes anything? Do you have proof? She challenged Tao Xinran. Once our PR team steps in, you'll be painted as a vengeful woman who resorts to lies after being rejected. The host remained silent, but the disapproval in their eyes was clear. Their company had just invested millions in Xu Qingyu's marketing, and any damage to her reputation could mean a terminated contract and massive financial losses. Xu Qingyu knew this and felt confident. Unlike others, she could easily afford any potential compensation. But Tao Xinran wasn't finished. Do you think this live stream is my only move? She asked softly. Have you forgotten what I used to do? Her words carried a hint of threat that made Xu Qingyu's confidence waver. As a journalist, Tao Xinran knew how to gather and preserve evidence. Panic finally crept into Xu Qingyu's voice. Wait, she stammered. Let's talk. I'll split my earnings with you. But before she could finish, the studio erupted in chaos. Police officers burst through the door, announcing they were arresting Xu Qingyu for involvement in a murder case. What Xu Qingyu didn't know was that during their time living together, Tao Xinran had been meticulously preparing. A tiny recording device, hidden carefully in the house, had been capturing every incriminating moment. The trap was set, and now it was about to close. Tao Xinran's investigative skills proved crucial. With help from a colleague, she hacked into Xu Qingyu's computer and uncovered shocking evidence. The records revealed multiple purchases of undetectable stimulants, which Xu Qingyu had been using in past competitions. Despite these illegal advantages, Hongying had consistently outperformed him. This revelation explained Xu Qingyu's deep-seated hatred. He had deliberately planned to eliminate Hongying by exploiting a deadly allergy. The amphetamine that nearly killed Hongying was carefully selected, knowing his specific allergies to tomatoes and bananas. A comprehensive blood test report confirmed the unusually high amphetamine content in Hongying's system. The evidence was undeniable. Public opinion quickly turned, with netizens demanding justice. Companies were forced to return breach of contract penalties. Hongying's parents received substantial compensation, finally breaking free from their crushing financial burden. The legal consequences were swift and severe. Tao Xinran, due to her voluntary confession, received a 15-year prison sentence. Xu Qingyu, identified as the mastermind behind an intentional homicide, was sentenced to death. On the day of the verdict, something profound happened. The mysterious power binding Hongying seemed to dissolve. In that transformative moment, Hongying prepared to leave. Tao Xinran, overwhelmed with emotion, seemed to see him one last time. "Is that you?" she cried, her voice breaking. "I know I was wrong. Can you forgive me?" Tears streamed down her face as she desperately reached out, watching his silhouette grow increasingly transparent. Hongying did not look back. With resolute steps, he walked toward the afterlife, leaving behind the pain and betrayal of his past life. His journey continued, carrying the hope of potential redemption in another existence. As the dust settles on this heart-wrenching tale, we're left with more than just a story of betrayal and revenge. Zi Hongying's journey is a stark reminder that true justice, though sometimes delayed, eventually finds its way. What began as a calculated plot to destroy one man's life became the very mechanism of its own destruction. Tao Xinran and Xu Qingyu's perfect crime unraveled through the very passion and investigative spirit that they thought would keep them safe. In the end, the truth cannot be silenced. It will always find a way to emerge. This story asks us to look deeper. Beyond the world of competitive rock climbing, beyond the glitz of championships and medals, lies a fundamental human truth. Integrity cannot be bought, and true character reveals itself in moments of extreme pressure. Zi Hongying's legacy is not defined by his final moments, but by his unwavering commitment to his sport, his principles, and his dignity. Even in death, he emerged victorious, his name cleared, his family vindicated, and the true culprits brought to justice. But this isn't just an ending, it's a beginning, a reminder that one person's courage can tear down the most carefully constructed lies. That love can be both a weapon and a healing force. That in the darkest moments, truth has a way of breaking through. For those who have followed this incredible journey, remember, not all heroes wear capes. Some wear climbing gear. Some wear the simple courage of standing up for what's right. If this story has moved you, if it has made you think, if it has touched your heart, then Zi Hongying's story has done more than just entertain. It has inspired. Before you go, do us a favor. Share this story, like this video, subscribe to our channel, because stories like these need to be told. Stories of resilience, of truth, of the human spirit's incredible power to overcome. Until next time, keep climbing, keep believing, and never let anyone steal your dreams.